Oh, I don't. Is it 1400?
It is 1330 going into 1400. So these are orders for the 1400 turn. So
Okay.
everyone has a 1330 screenshot. And welcome to those who are watching to part two of the Great Battle of Austerlitz on this Thursday night live Kriegsspiel. Thank you for watching. Okay, so two of you Bonapartes joined Bernadotte. You can see to the east the Austrians are pressing hard with their 2nd Brigade, 4th Column, and reinforcements are coming from the south. From who is that? Oh, Milorodovich. And you can even see Milorodovich himself not less than half a mile away, spying you with a spyglass. In your rear, you've got your cavalry, which the chasseurs are reformed under Kellerman. The hussars less so. Further back, you can see more hussars that are reformed. And then to the north, you can see Lannes has reformed his line facing north-northeast. Uh, yep. And to the south, you can see Drouet's 1st Corps still in reserve. Puntowitz has been captured by the Austrians, and Murat's giant, massive cavalry charge is going in. His dragoons and chasseurs are already in. The heavy cavalry are following up behind.
Um, I'm gonna order Drouot. I'm gonna take personal command of Marat's forces and Drouot for the time being, and Drouot is ordered to advance rapidly to follow up Marat's attack and break open the enemy's line.
Okay,
He should march essentially straight
okay. March straight in. Got it.
east.
I've got 3 orders.
Okay.
Quick question. The infantry unit with the 3 disruptions to my northeast, is that the only remaining unit of Suchet, or is that Imperial Guard?
It is not Guard. It's 1st Brigade, 2nd Division, 5th Corps, 1/40th of the line. So I'm not sure where that came from.
Hang on, checking the original setup, and I think 5th Corps. Okay, so that is my sole remaining infantry unit from Suchet. Okay. Setting up 3 orders. First is going to the cavalry to the north. Are those mine or are they Lannes?
They are 1st Brigade, 1st Corps, which is yours.
Okay. They are to take those the first 3 units that are right of the battery. They are to swing through the surrendered artillery and slam into the Austrians fighting the guard from their flank.
Okay.
The 5 units behind the artillery are to set up a screen facing east, and if the Austrian cavalry attacks, they are to charge down and sweep them.
Okay.
Third order is that the cavalry unit to my most south, the one with the 2 disruption,
Mm-hmm.
that is going in under Milradovich. That fucker thinks he can stand on my hill without my leave. He got another thing coming. I'm probably going to lose that unit, but I want to see him run the fuck away. So they're being told to go snipe a commander.
Okay.
Also, there's a chance that they will force those other infantry units into square and stop them.
Okay. Bonaparte, are you going south to the center like Murat's charge, or you staying here?
Yeah, I'd like to observe the attack of Drouot and Marat, and I'll personally direct it.
Okay. Got it. All right. Thank you. All right, General Lan. Your infantry in a bit of a bedraggled state have managed, those that remain to you have managed to reform facing north-northeast with their left anchored on that small hill. You got the elite grenadiers with you, as well as elements of 3rd Brigade. On your left, you've got some heavy cavalry on your left flank with some hussars retreating from the north. And then I think everything south of you belongs to Bernadotte. You can see some fresh Austrian regiments marching in from the east, and then the cavalry to the north are overrunning the grenadiers sent that way to delay them. The cavalry of the guard, those chasseurs, have charged in and are also delaying, but will likely break soon. What are your orders?
Let me see. First, I'd like to know what madness has sent these 2 Austrian battalions out there by themselves, but I guess we'll ask them once we get to. I'd like to do a sort of wheel, moving my left forward and my right slight back, to almost kind of tie in with the cavalry that's to my south, but not quite, just in order to fully face these infantry coming up. I'd like to shuffle that battery to the rear to start kind of
Recovering?
Yeah, get them recovering. Switch out that 3 hit with the I'm sorry, my words are failing me right now. There is one in the reserve that has not been hit at all. I'd like to switch that one out with the 3. Otherwise, keep everything else facing towards that infantry there.
Got it. All right. Thank you.
Let's see. Yeah, I guess that's all I got for right now. The cavalry coming in from the north, if they do continue to push south, I'm just gonna send those hussars in to kind of slow them down, and wait with the heavy cav for right now. But yeah, just kind of a left wheel to face the 2 infantry coming in, switch out the battery, the 3 hit, and the hussars to slow if they start advancing. That's all I got.
Okay, thank you. Let's see. I'll be back in a second. Hold on. Alright. Emperor Francis. I think you've seen the written report. So your cavalry have been pushing ever forward into the French north and left flank. They've recently been slowed down. The French are throwing grenadiers and other cavalry at you, and slowly getting torn up bit by bit. You can see them reforming to the south. Let's see. Sorry, I'm looking at your screen.
So yeah, I think I did basically give the broad overview of what I wanted in the text channel, but yeah, bring forward those semi-fresh dragoons and those hussars back there that are also semi-fresh. Send in that fresh heavy cavalry to beat off those light cavalry that are opposing us. Basically capture as many prisoners as possible, and then pull off with all of our new stuff, the guns and all the prisoners. While the cavalry, screens that withdrawal. Make sense?
Got it. Thank you. All right, General Kindmeyer. So you can see Francis's cavalry assault to your west is going well. Your artillery are all exhausted, stopped firing, except those to the south. You got a lot of cavalry that have reformed behind your line, which are ready to go back in. Your 2 regiments, under the Austrian advance guard, are moving up. They've crossed the small valley and are moving forward, but they look to be pretty outnumbered. What are your orders?
All right. I'd like to have a general advance in support of Francis.
Okay.
I'd like to personally accompany him, or I'd like to personally accompany. Blah, I can't speak. I'd like to personally accompany a couple of regiments of cavalry to immediately support his assault.
Okay. Got it. Thank you.
Yep.
Let's see. You have not been visited yet, correct?
Not at all.
Okay. Well, it's getting. Hold on, give me 1 second. Yes, Emily? Okay. Eat something real fast and then be in his room with him. Sorry about that. Alright, so it's been a bit spicy to your front. A major French cavalry charge has gone in to your northwest and starting to overwhelm the front lines. That's about all I can say. What are your orders?
I'm gonna keep to what I put in there, so the Imperial Guard will. I'll continue to have them form up that second line, but the third brigade of the fourth column is to advance forward to assist the first brigade of the first column in repelling the cavalry. Uh,
The 3rd Brigade of 4th Column?
yeah, that's literally right behind me.
I see. That's the 1st Brigade.
Is it?
That's what it says. But yeah, I
I
see.
can't really.
That's fine.
I can't really
So they're
see it, but
advancing.
yeah, and the third brigade, which is going to be the ones on their right, are just to hold position and repel the cavalry.
Okay, yeah. 3rd Brigade, the yellow ones under Milorodovich. Got it.
Yeah, and continue bringing those cannons up to the second and third brigade of first column.
Thank you. Alright, I got too many people.
No kidding.
Well, one extra showed up at the very end. So, Park, if you can take Alexander as well, that will help.
Yeah, sure.
So, Kermit, can you do combat for your side, and I'll start doing my side?
Yep. I'm working on it.
I might.
I'm
A
just
lot
starting.
of countercharging going on, I think.
Yeah.
James, did you have any orders for the Dragoon Swarm at the bottom end of the map?
Those, ask Kutuzov, because I don't know what their orders were to begin with. I was going to have them just hit the flank of this thing and probably
Okay.
cause them to rout.
That's what it sounded like you wanted. So
Okay,
I'm
yeah.
just gonna.
By the way,
They're in a town though, so I don't know how.
Did you already pick the orders for Alexander this turn? Or?
Yeah, I already got them.
Alright. Next turn, I'll try my best.
No, you're good.
All right.
I got a lot of combat to run, and I may just.
Yeah, we're gonna have to do globs here, otherwise it's gonna take way too.
At this point, if anyone routes, just throw them way to the rear because we can't deal with people coming back.
Okay.
If they're routed, they're done for.
What's most good range? 0.2.
0.2-ish.
Out of here. My TTS. Stop messing with me. Let me do what I want to do. There we go. Okay. Yeah. Okay, now I need a musket fire.
Actually, I don't know. So many pieces.
Yep, I accidentally just deleted a whole bunch.
Oh, do you have to rewind?
uh, Perhaps I'm trying to find some copies I could just steal.
Yeah, that'd be better.
It's really Reds. Now, Russian dragoons. Link, link. Don't ask about it.
So much combat.
Yep.
How far have you gotten? Because I just got to.
Uh, I have done everything basically except the artillery at this point.
Okay. I turned off all my artillery. Actually, I think this one would be off too. They're a bit far.
I know. I'm thinking, yeah, those guys.
So you've done this infantry all down here?
The line, yeah, yeah, I did that.
Alright.
A lot of missed shots.
Yeah. Alright, I'm gonna delete. I think we're ready for screenshots then.
Did you do these guys or?
Which ones?
Well, this artillery, I guess.
Oh no, I haven't. You can do that real fast. I'm gonna start my screenshots. 1400. Park, if you can keep doing dispatches, that would be helpful while we're doing the combat.
Missed that.
Did you hear me, Park? Glad I did 2 turns in between because we're going so slow. It's alright.
Okay. Probably forgot something in this mess, but oh well.
It's alright. Park, you there?
Did we lose him?
Hope we didn't fall asleep.
Down to 2.
Park. I'll be right back. Alright, go to bed. Okay, quickly. Night. That does not bode well. Park.
Wait.
You there?
Yeah, I'm there.
Okay, we've been yelling at you. You haven't been responding.
Really?
Yeah.
That's weird. Hold on, I turn you up.
Isaac, I
Turn you guys up. I'm putting it at 150 for now. Maybe that'll work.
Alright,
That's too loud. That's too loud.
I was asking if you could handle dispatches while Kermit and I are doing combat.
Yeah, sure. See, I'm just gonna. Oh God.
Yeah, scroll through.
Let's see here. Francis doesn't have anything. Kmart doesn't have
Okay,
anything.
I'm gonna go do the next turn.
1400, right?
Yes. Oh wait, I didn't do everyone. Shoot. So many people. I only did.
There's a dispatch from Alexander to Constantine. So I gotta put this in Constantine. This is gonna go right here. Constantine also needs an image. And once again, it's King Maya. How fast does dispatch move?
Just make it immediate.
We don't have
Okay,
time
cool.
for that.
We don't have time for delays.
I don't have time for that bullshit. We have speed of sound fucking runners here.
Well, I got half an hour to go fast. All right, I'm going.
Yep.
All right, Emperor Bonaparte. So you move south about a mile and a bit to the next hill over. You send Drouet in to retake Puntowitz. You can see the heavy cavalry under Nansudi and Murat going in. The Russians and Austrians are both throwing in, looks like, all their reserves to counter the cavalry charge. To the north, Bernadotte's still holding the line. And you hear lots of fire to the south as well.
Okay. I'm going to order the cavalry to continue their charge. It looks like Nansuti will be able to push through the enemy along with the cavalry that's already engaged the dragoons and attack what looks like the flank of the Russians. Drouot is ordered to assault the infantry in front of him and send I suppose, a regiment to attack the enemy fourth column and flank up there to support Bernadotte's line because it looks like it's slowly being down by the enemy. And that flank attack should be pretty effective. But I don't want to disrupt Drouot's assault too much because he'll need to follow up this cavalry attack as they are committing many reserves to stop it, but we will counter it with infantry and ultimately crack their center.
All right. Thank you. All right, General Lan. So you start to pull back your right wing, right flank. The Austrians continue to advance on your right, and you can see cavalry crossing the valley between you as well. And moving on your right.
Moving
The
south?
cavalry, no, they're moving west directly towards your line. The
Oh,
cavalry
okay.
to the north seem to have pretty much stopped. There's still some sounds of battling, but I don't know, they appear to have slowed, maybe reforming. It's a little bit unclear, but they're not charging south anymore, so they're
Odd. Okay.
about a mile away from you. Yeah. What are your orders?
I am going to yield the crown a little more. Have the Austrian infantry, have they advanced at all, or have they stopped? They've stopped?
They're advancing.
They're advancing? Okay. I would like to... I want to make my new line right where the batteries are right now. Do you see where Bernadotte's battery is?
Mhm.
To the south. I'd like for that to be my right. Just slot to the infantry between that and the battery that I own.
Okay.
One in reserve of my battery, and then the rest to the left of that, and we'll just keep backing it up
All right.
and give us time to
Do you want to hold the hill
recover.
in front of you, or give that up?
The hill, the hill that the untouched
Yep.
battalion is on right now.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, we'll hold it. They'll just kind of adjust
Okay.
to tie into that battery there, and anything in between we'll just slot in.
Got it. Thank you. All right, General Bernadotte. The cavalry charge in on the flanks. The one sent to the south is unable to capture Miloradovic and is countered by the fresh Austrian column. The one sent left managed to get on the flank and are breaking that unit. It looks like the Austrian line is starting to break overall.
Okay. My orders are I can see the units the cavalry units to my distant north. They're still in the process of getting ready to act as a screen. Okay. The cavalry units in my immediate vicinity, those 4 one disruption and I want them to be moved up to cover the flank of the guard, so that cavalry unit that I sent headhunting it looks like it's about to break soon. I want those 4 angled so to cover the flank of the Imperial Guard, so that if the Austrians try to move in and flank the guard, they are to charge. Otherwise, they are to hold back just behind it. I don't think I have enough space to get them out in line, so it'll probably just be like 2 units next to each other at an angle from the guard, like a refused wing. And I am going to actually move north around the back of the guard and join those 3 cavalry that are in the process of flanking the Austrian wing. And I'm going to motivate them to go hard for leather, and we need to break this entire line. I need them to start charging down south and routing this entire thing before my right flank collapses. Orders are to Kellerman. By the way, that's Suchet's lone infantry unit. Is it still under fire by artillery?
Yep.
Because I've noticed that. Oh no, was it a 3 before?
I need you to be fast. I don't have a lot of time.
Okay, that unit of Suchet's is to pull back. It looks like it's under artillery fire. It's to pull back a little farther and try to get itself reorganized. That's the extent of my orders.
Okay, thank you. All right, Francis. Your fresh cavalry have gone in. They are going in. You managed to rout the cavalry of the guard that was threatening your center. You've captured 5 infantry brigades, and are starting to process prisoners, sending them north. And your cavalry is otherwise reorganizing. Oh no, you captured more than that. You captured 3 more to the northeast. And then you can see Kindmeyer is advancing to your southeast with all his cavalry and what little infantry you can see.
Okay. Yeah. Let's see. Let's get that regiment of dragoons with the 4 a beat up one to relieve that force that's currently holding those prisoners up in the north. Let's bring them over here, and let's try to press Discord. Let's try to press at the edge of the French line. Try to find their flank with the fresh units. So the Lancers, the Dragoons with the 2, the heavy cavalry, and I'll rally that broken unit of Dragoons. So, make sense?
Mm-hmm.
Hello?
Yep, sorry, I'm just doing things.
Okay.
All right, General Kindmeyer, you are advancing across the valley with your cavalry. It looks like Francis's cavalry have stopped and are reforming, processing all the prisoners they have. The French are wheeling their line to, I guess, face your incoming attack. You've got some lancers to the south that have reformed and are seeking orders. They're near Irschikowitz. And, yep. What are your orders?
I'd like to turn generally northwest and continue to advance.
Advance northwest?
Yes, and take that broken French battery while we're at it.
Alright. Okay, thank you.
The heavy cavalry into reserve whilst these guys were charging. Or countercharging the cavalry that's here. Yeah, these guys are fucked. This is fucked.
Yep.
This is
James, if we got people surrendering in the middle of the cavalry mess, we're just taking them off the board.
Yeah, just to clean it up if you want.
Okay. Because we got people ordering cavalry charges where their front line is running, like, away from.
Yeah, if the front line, I mean, you can't charge, well, you can charge through fleeing men, but it's going to really mess things up, so.
That is why I was like, that's a bad idea, people. Don't do that.
And then Alexander wanted these guns. I hope these are the right guns to go here and like help out. Yeah, the help out 2nd Brigade. Is that possible?
I don't know how they would. I think he would just wanted them to fire, but there's a lot of guys in between them, and like the terrain is not helping. Little close combat at the moment.
I mean, I guess they move, but they don't really. They can't really help.
Did you got Park? You got what's his name?
Alexander and Constantine.
You got him.
Yeah, doing my best. Alexander wanted to go to the heavy lancers and chill with them in reserve. By the way, he wanted the heavy cav to be in reserve for these guys. Is that? I guess they're already pressed in reserve, right? Should I place them closer?
Sorry, I'm trying to process stuff over here.
Yeah,
whatever you think.
What I think is right. Okay, I got this. I can totally do this. So I'm gonna put Alexander right here. I'm gonna put all the heavy cav right where he is. Like this, right? Like they're in reserve, right?
Mm-hmm.
Ooh, that's dangerous.
That sounds spooky.
Some pretty bad inflating fire just happened. These guys would probably... I'm going to move them slightly over because Chinleaf... These guys are supposed to charge that guy, so they'd probably take precedent over the artillery.
Yeah.
But they also can't make it through anyway because there's no infantry in the way.
Oh my god, bro. It's a clusterfuck. I hate hostilities already.
I've been here when you update Alexander, have him get a report from Milorodovich that his attack is stalled and his line is breaking.
Okay, so report to Alexander. This is to Alexander, right?
Yep.
Okay. Report to Alexander. Alexander. from Milodorovic.
Okay.
What was the message?
Where did I?
His attack has stalled and his line is breaking.
My attack is stalled. Stalled, and my line is breaking. And Beaumont, that's easy. Oh, right. And Constantine is going personally to the Lancers to rally them.
Okay.
Hate that I can't. Oh, is that how you do it? Okay. I just figured out something massive. Don't worry about me. I definitely know how to use TTS.
What was it?
Rotation degrees. I was wondering why I couldn't rotate them as so
Oh.
precisely. I had them at 30% or degrees. That explains a lot. I don't know why I put gun markers down when they're just charging. Oh no. That, then that was. Those guys are also charging. Missed. Impressive. Overwhelming. Melee, you roll 3 times, right?
Yep.
Good, because that's what I'm doing. Narrowly survived.
Slowly making my way. I'm almost done. We're doing like 30-minute turns.
Did it again. Why did it do that? Worry about me just accidentally deleting more troops as I feel it. Well, hope nobody was paying attention to the individual numbers. Good. That's impressive. Pretty big screenshots.
Alright, I did the north.
It's enough. What happened down here? Yeah, I guess.
Alright, we got land.
These guys would definitely and stop this. They guys.
Alright. I'm gonna go. Do you need me to do Alexander's screenshot, Park?
Sorry?
Do you
Yes,
need
I can.
you can do it?
I think I can, yeah. I think I got this.
Okay. I'm gonna go get my update.
I'll try to do my best.
Alright, General Bernadotte. Where are you? Okay. So you went to the left side of your line to join the cavalry. As you arrived, you find that the Austrians had launched a cavalry charge up the hill, and your men were forced to quickly reform and turn to face them. You are nearly struck from your horse by a passing artillery shot coming from the northeast. Luckily, it did not hit you or your horse, but you're in the line of fire now. The good news is you can see the infantry line is mostly routing except to the far south, but that seems to be going well. The cavalry here, it's lancers, so you're not winning that fight versus your hussars, unfortunately.
Okay.
And the Austrians and Russians to the north have, I don't know, they're mostly turning northwest. But, yep. What are your orders?
Okay. I am sending an order to the 5 cavalry units to my west that are behind the, I guess, guard artillery. And they are to advance with all alacrity and flank the lancers that are fighting with my hussars right now.
Okay.
Now, I believe the Emperor has given me command of the Imperial Guard for the moment. Is it possible that the artillery that used to belong to Suchet that is right beside me, it says surrendered, so the guns are still there?
The guns are there. The artillerymen are nowhere to be seen. They killed or ran off.
Is it feasible to pull men from Suchet's unit to man the guns afresh, and then they could still fire, at reduced rates or reduced success or
I mean,
whatever?
you can put them on guns. They're not trained at all, so it's not going to be worth it.
Okay. I'm going to pull men from Suchet's reforming units to man those guns and to put fire down on the artillery as best as they can.
Okay.
I'm going to have the undamaged guard unit, the leftmost of the line of guards, move up to support the cavalry, or at least if the cavalry breaks, to let the cavalry fall back through them.
Okay.
The other 3 guards units are to, or the other 2 that are unengaged, are to move and flank the Austrians from the north and crush the remaining, I guess, 2 or 3 units that are still fighting to my immediate south.
Yep.
That
sounds good. Gotta go. Thank you.
Yep, that's it.
All right, General Land. You continue to pull your right flank back. Your artillery started firing on some advancing Russian cavalry. The enemy has turned northwest and is kind of marching across your front. You don't know why. The cavalry to the north is reforming as well. You can hear lots of sounds of battle to the south. It's a bit quiet in your sector at the moment. What are your orders?
All right. Shoot, if they're going to march northwest, I will continue to just not give them anything. Let me pull that left back. We'll go ahead and give up the hill that the Grenadiers are on right now. Yeah, just go ahead and pull it back. If we can do that, that allows the battalions in reserve to kind of rest. I'd like to be able to do that.
Okay. Got
just
it.
Pull the left back and kind of match what they're doing up there.
All right, General Bonaparte, you continue to watch the battle
Excuse me. I
unfold.
believe I'm an emperor.
Oh, sorry, Emperor. I'm so sorry, Emperor. Um, yes, so you can see some of the dragoons are routing the chasseurs, but the heavy cavalry have gone in to replace them, and the Austrian infantry are starting to rout in certain locations. No, by no means it's a decided affair. Smoke is everywhere, and it's hard to see anything.
Murat will sweep south, making to turn the Russian flank so that Van Dam's attack south of Koblenz is successful. It is he will Murat will break open the center and make way for Van Dam to crush them. Drouot is ordered to take Puntowitz and send some move onto the hill south of Puntowitz and follow up the breach in the center. The artillery, where I am standing, the two pieces of artillery of the First Corps, are to move on to the hill south of Puntowitz, and if there is additional enemy that come from the east, they're to fire on that enemy. If no additional enemy come from the east, they are to support firing north on the Stepanitz Hill and support Davout, or not Davout, Bernadotte.
Got it. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, General Francis, your cavalry are reforming. Prisoners are starting to be moved to the north, out of the way. You can see Kindmeyer is advancing, actually heading northwest towards you, it seems. And
Okay.
yep, cavalry been moving about as ordered.
Right. Yeah. We'll begin moving to the the west. Right. That's the left of the screenshot.
Yep, always.
Yeah.
What's
Okay.
moving west? You're moving west, or all your commands are moving west?
All of the fresh ones.
Well, nothing's
So
fresh, really, but the ones that
I
aren't
mean,
routed.
yeah, like the ones that don't have like 4 or 3. You know, the ones with 1 and 2. They're going to move west.
Move.
And I'm going to go with them.
All right, got it. Moving west. Everyone go west. Sorry, I'm just moving things as we go. Okay. All right, General Kindmeyer, your cavalry and infantry have turned northwest as ordered, and moving pretty close to Francis's and Liechtenstein's command. The Russians to the far south, the 3rd Brigade, have come under artillery fire. Yeah, what are your orders?
Am I able to turn the battery I just captured back on the to do a counter battery at all, or is that just out of the cards?
There's no artillerymen at the moment. The guns are abandoned there.
Hmm. Okay. See if we can man that, number one. And then I'd like to personally link up with Francis and regroup, because I'm honestly not sure what to do here.
Okay, so you're joining Francis. Your cavalry keep going northwest, or?
Yes.
Okay. Got it. Alright, thank you. Hey, I won this time. Let's see. They be able to. Yeah, they would. Bring the dice. Just gonna make my life easy.
Oh boy, more cavalry stuff.
I think they're just gonna break.
Overtime tonight.
That can this happen, or is this just like it's just fuck?
And what happened?
This charge is never gonna, because I feel like this charge is never gonna pop off, honestly, because of all this infantry.
What are you talking about? Where?
Here, they're trying to get the dragoons to charge into the counter charge to the cavalry.
Yeah. Because you can. There's an opening there. You just gotta do that.
All right, there you go. There's a charge. How far can cavalry move?
Like
10?
2 to 3,
2 to
20 to
3.
30 grids.
I'm gonna get 20, 2 grids for these guys because there's like stuff on their way. So make it about to here.
Let's see.
All right, I'm gonna let you guys handle combat for a bit.
Guys come in, they hit that. I don't think I got orders from them.
So much combat.
I in fact did, and also didn't because you didn't. The orders are to hold the line.
Oh,
Now that's just sad. That's not right. That's more like. Okay.
Okay, I think I got as far south as I normally do.
Well, I'm literally just starting, and I'm starting from the south-ish.
Okay, well, I'll keep going. Then.
Should mention, yeah, these guys are probably gonna fight each other.
I can do the infantry along this line.
Blue is getting his ass kicked. Probably not good for
Let Alexander know Miloradovich will send another dispatch that he's basically been routed.
It's gotten significantly worse since I last reported. That's just sad. I don't know how to. That's what I'm thinking. Blood. Fuck. Do 2 bodies of cavalry missed 2 out of 3 rolls. Damn. Okay. Just out.
Oh, shoot.
You just removed the cannon.
Yeah, sorry, dude. It's so messy I can't even.
I mean, that's it. That's realistically what was about to happen anyway. So
Yeah. So 1 for charging, 2, 3, 4. They'll break. Alright, I got this far.
yeah.
So if you got
I'm at here basically.
Okay, yeah, so if you do those guns, you're good.
Yep.
Time for screenshots. I don't know. There's too many dang reserves. You can't, like, say what's decisive until all the reserves are done for.
Yeah.
How are the dispatches going, Park?
They're going all right for my boys. Is there more dispatches I need to take care of in the coalition side? I don't think so. I think I delivered everything. Oh, wait, there's one for Kazutsov right here. Just gonna put that down there. Oh, hell no. Right here. Gonna see the time. Come on, you still here?
Yep, I'm still here. Just
Don't
locked in.
don't forget to give the time to Kuznetsov because I think it's more for me actually because I'm confused at what time he is. But
Oh, I thought
it's
I put
fine.
it for him. Did I not?
Yeah, that's all I had to say about that matter. But basically, yeah,
Oh, I
dispatches are
didn't. Yeah.
okay.
Whoops. Okay.
Alright, I'm gonna go get my updates.
Can't believe this.
Alright, it's General Bernadotte. Good news. So, your hussars were broken, as was expected, against the lancers, but thanks to the holding of the infantry and the guard, and then the arrival of your hussars on the lancer flank, you managed to break the lancers and they are running. But now your hussars are taking artillery fire in the rear. They're getting destroyed quickly. The Austrian line to your south has fled the field. You managed to capture some of them, but you are victorious on your section of the battlefield, essentially, with all the enemy fleeing before you. Up north, you don't hear much fire. You do hear and see some guns from the Imperial Guard are firing north that Lan is controlling, but otherwise it seems like he's not engaged. And you can see nothing up that way. You have to talk to Lan. Lots of artillery and battle to the south, not as much to the north.
Okay.
What orders?
My orders are I will be moving to the southern end of this plateau to get a better eyes to my south. My orders are for the guard to reform into a line starting from the southern end of the plateau north and just rally and reorganize. My cavalry, the ones with the 3 disruption, are to pull back behind the guard and reorganize and hopefully get out of range of the artillery. If anything threatens the guard's flanks, they are to attack. And as for the cavalry behind the guard, they will continue to rally and reform. And that's it. I'm gonna have a message to Latin in a minute or so, but that's the extent of my orders. Oh, a quick question: what's the maximum I can rally a unit back from? Because I can see, I think the 5th Brigade Suchet is now at a 3. Is that the best you'll ever get?
No, it'll get back to 1 with time.
Okay, so that that unit will continue to rally, and then that's my orders. I'm going to type up a message to land.
Got it. All right, General Lan. All reports from your skirmishers sent out is that the enemy is on the move, heading west, passing through Kirchen. So nobody's engaging you, but they're on the move, perhaps getting to your flank or rear, which is concerning. To the east, let's see, what can you see? You can see some of some of Bernadotte's cavalry are routing, and other cavalry running into the fight. It's hard to tell what's going on down there. But yeah, that's the update you get.
Okay. Let me maintain. Oh shit. Give me 1 second. Let me go ahead and maintain this this left flank. With the cav on my left. Have the hussars move up behind that heavy cav. Is that guard cav
Yes.
on my left? Okay, yeah. I'll have the hussars move up behind them and swing my right up to the north. Basically, I guess retake the hill here. If they decide to shift south, prep squares. I imagine they're not going to, though. But we'll just go ahead and retake the hill and shift the artillery that's just to my southeast. Get that back online and have it firing as they move.
Okay.
And then I'll have a dispatch descent as well.
Alrighty. Alright, General Bonaparte, you watch as Drouet's corps manages to retake Puntowice, something like that. You also see, it looks like Bernadotte to the north has captured an Austrian brigade, and Murat has kind of broken a gap in the Austrian line and is starting to turn south and envelop the line. But his attack's been slowed. Still, maybe half his heavy cavalry isn't engaged quite yet. But yeah, that's how it's going.
Yeah, Murat should continue to loop around the enemy's flank and use his superior mobility and speed and weight to force open the enemy's flank. Drouot should start moving south behind Nansoti, or however you pronounce it, to exploit the gap that actually, yeah, he'll leave half of Drouot should leave half of his forces holding the hill and Puntowitz, and then actually, just 2 units will hold the hill and Puntowitz, and then the majority of his force will move south with Murat, and then the 2 cannon that I'm standing next to should move up to pretty much where Nansoti's tile is right now.
Okay, and you staying where you're at?
Yes, I'd like to stay where I'm at and continue to observe the fighting.
Got it. All right. All right, gentlemen, the two of you are co-located, as by no doubt you can tell by now. So Francis's cavalry are on the move west, entering the town of Krichen. And then Kleinmeyer's cavalry and infantry are following behind, just to the southeast, mostly unopposed. What are your orders?
So I'm gonna take my command through Kriegstein, through Giarda, and then I can't read that, but like towards that main road, and then the town just south of it. I'm
The
gonna.
one that ends with Hans or whatever.
I literally can't make it. It seems to me like EIN. Like from Kriegstein, like basically directly southwest. That's where I'm looking.
Okay.
Yeah.
Kleinmeyer, what are you doing?
Francis, you suggested I would turn southwest and and deploy skirmishers and just
Yeah,
sort of hold the French there, right?
yeah, sort of, yeah, deploy opposite of them, and threaten to attack if they start to maneuver.
Gotcha.
Because they're really badly beat up. So if they start moving around, it could not be pretty.
Okay. Got it. Thank
All
you.
right. Well, you heard the man. Those are the orders.
Yeah, that didn't. Reference people, don't pull your troops out of line when they're in a gunfight. Or at least not when they're already out of force. Vu is about to be in a lot of trouble. Again.
Who is?
Vu.
Oh.
As in, too much trouble. What happens when artillery reaches 5?
Stops firing. You can pull back or
Okay.
just leave it there. What is this cavalry doing? Should it be charging in still? I'm guessing.
I do not know, frankly.
That's alright.
I would assume
I'll be
so.
them.
These guys are supposed to be in square if they get charged.
Yeah.
That's probably self-evident.
I'll do it like that.
Um, Mutually assured destruction. My favorite. I'm just gonna remove these. Everyone on that flank is gone from the board. Sad, honestly.
How far up are you, Kermit?
I'm at Telnitz.
I'll do this line here then.
Yeah, that's. I'll have all these guys stop firing. Guess they could hit that. Unless they miss.
What is this artillery shooting at? I guess.
It was shooting at some guys over here, but they're gone now.
Okay. I'm gonna have them stop
I
firing for the moment.
I rolled for them to shoot. Well, I had this guy on the far left. He shot at that artillery piece
okay.
that missed. So he at least could still fire. Micromanaging here.
You're fine. Okay, I did down to here, so I think we're good.
Yep, I think we're all good. I just got to move these lancers up a bit more.
I think. Well, the Russians have a heavy cav. They have some.
The south flank is just screwed, but so is like the center.
The French south, yeah. Well, so the Russian right's getting turned. I don't know. It's a very. I guess we still got an hour and a half. It's not decided yet.
The French are winning the center, but they're losing the flanks, which is very interesting.
Yeah, but can the Russians take the flank fast enough? Because I could see the whole Russian army routing in the middle in a second. I don't know. We'll see.
Yep.
Need another hour, I think. All right, 15:30. We're actually doing okay for 3 umpires. Where'd Park go? Did he already go down?
Where did Park go? I don't think he ever showed up.
Is he with someone?
He's still with Voice 2 and for the coalition. Why is he still there?
I don't know. I'm doing my people. 15:30. Excuse me.
What's that noise?
That was a sneeze.
Ah. Chinleaf was a bit crazy for keeping all these reserves in the bag, but gonna win down here.
Yeah. Well, he was
not crazy if it works.
Yeah. Let's see.
Park is passed out. Dr. Ruff just told me.
Is he in the U.S. or is he in Europe?
I think he's in the U.S. because he said it was 11 where he was.
Well.
And it was.
I guess we're doing dispatches. I should do them.
Oh my god. We're down to 2. Focus. So I'll get Constantine.
And I'll do Alexander, I guess.
Okay, yeah. I mean, Constantine and Dr. Off are co-located. I'm just going to move them together, honestly.
Okay, yeah, do that.
It's been angering me that they haven't been exactly co-located this entire time.
So, Francis is over here.
$30. I mean, hell, I could put Alexander with party coming on here if you wanted me to.
Alexander with who?
With Dr. Off and Constantin.
Yeah, just combine them all. Let's just make our lives easy. Yeah, just do.
Just lost party. It's official.
It's very official. Yeah, just do them all together if you don't mind.
Yep.
So you can do.
I'll put them in the same chat because.
Yep.
Come on, Discord, don't freeze on me right now.
I just
Need you. Okay. With Park.
Okay, I think I did everyone. Did I do everyone?
1530, right?
Let's see.
I go with it.
That goes into archive.
I think that's everyone. So I can take Alexander's orders as well as Constantine.
Yeah, you got it. Thank you. All right. All right, General Bernadotte. So your corps has started reforming, facing south. As you arrive at the edge of the hill, you can see that Drouet's corps, first corps, has taken Puntowitz and is marching southeast. You can see Murat's cavalry sweeping southward and battling the Russians in that direction. Yeah.
Okay. One note, misunderstanding there. The guard, I wanted them formating up in a line facing east, not south.
Oh, okay.
My orders, since I haven't received any orders back, I'm going to tell Kellerman to take those units of 4 cavalry that are at 1 disorder and push east and what's the name of the town, and he is to push through to Blasowitz and report back on what he sees. If he encounters formed enemy, he is to avoid contact. This is a scouting mission.
Okay.
Actually, he is going to... Can I still hear the guns firing to my northeast?
No, they've stopped.
Including the enemy artillery?
Yep.
Okay, yeah. So Kellerman is to take 4 units of the 1 disorder horse and move through... Is it Traskowitz? I can never understand how that... what the letter there is. But those 2 towns, and report back on what he sees in front of him.
Okay. Any other orders?
Aside from fixing the guard's orientation towards the east, and the same for that 3 disorder cavalry. Have them face east and continue to rally. That's about it. Okay, Suchet's out 2. Yeah, that's about it.
All right. Thank you. All right, General Lan. Kleinmeyer's corps has wheeled about and is now facing you directly to your north. Scouting reports reveal that Liechtenstein's cavalry are passing through Kirchen and are to your northwest now, moving south. And you don't hear, except for your guns, which are now firing, you don't hear a lot of fire near you. You hear a lot of fighting way to the south, miles and miles away.
Yep. I take it that they're basically done in the center. If Bernado's dispatch means anything. The forces to my north, they're advancing on me, or they're just holding off?
They advance. Well, they advanced toward this point, and then they've stopped where they're at currently.
Okay. All right. Orders as follows then.
Yes.
Prep for square on the wings. The cannons are just going to continue firing. Is that within canister range? They should get torn up here.
It's
right?
close
Okay.
to it, not quite.
Okay. All right. Well, if they advance any further into it, then they're going to advance into canister. If they push on that battery, just abandon the battery and fall behind the infantry, but otherwise keep it firing. So the 2 grenadier divisions in the center maintain. There's going to be 2 grenadier divisions on the left. You see the ones that are one hits. I'd like for them to basically prep square in case the Austrians directly to their front charge. The other 2 on the right side, the one hits, can maintain. I'd like to see about getting that Imperial Guard battery firing. I'm not going to worry about it for right now. Yeah, those 2 on the right, the one hits, also prep for square and kind of keep that right side. The cav, hold off.
Okay, got it.
The hussars and the heavy cavalry, I want to basically face off against the northwest in case they start pushing from there, and sit on this little ridge they're basically on in the woods and whatnot. And we'll hold that. We'll hold it for right now, and then I'll send a dispatch off.
Okay. All right, Emperor Bonaparte. You see Drouet continue southeast. Let's see. Bernadotte's men are, I guess, reforming on the hill to your northeast. Murat continues to press south, but more and more of his cav is breaking. Yep, you hear not much fighting to the north, just intermittent artillery fire, very small. All the fighting's to your south at the moment.
We'll have Drouot, whatever, move into the town of Pratzen, and then south onto the ridge line that is to the northeast of, or northwest of Klein Posterada. You see what I'm talking about?
Mm-hmm.
The big hill. He's going to move there and then likely envelop the enemy, who is probably all to the west of that position. Murat is to break the enemy in front of him and continue south, as he is the spearhead. our artillery will form up where Nansuti is. Well, I guess it can't really. It will just follow Dro and support him. Those two infantry in Koblenitz and the horse guns are to move forward and fill any gaps that the cavalry have left, and continue the attack. I will send orders to the Imperial Guard cavalry that they are to follow any directives of Marshal Lon and to reform and prepare to respond to enemy cavalry coming from the north if they haven't already.
Okay.
Otherwise, I sent 2 dispatches in my channel.
Got it. Thank you. All right, General Francis, you ride through Kritchen, pass through to the other side. Your cavalry is also all around you, heading southwest generally. You can hear some artillery fire to the southeast, but most of the sounds of battle are way further south.
Okay. We'll press forward to that crossroads. We'll just move direct south, basically, and get a better eye on what's going on.
Okay.
Be prepared to charge the French or countercharge if they charge.
Got it. Thank you. All right, General Kleinmeyer. So your corps has wheeled and is now facing the French line northeast of Stepanitz. You've come under artillery fire. They've got some guns on a hill, small hill in the center. Other than that, you've got them. They're not moving. What are your orders?
Continue to deploy skirmishers across the whole front and just sort of hem them in.
Okay, got it. Thank you. All right, top to bottom.
Yep. Gonna be disgusting. Enough. Good news about cavalry charges. They're over pretty fast.
Should be in half an hour.
Battle, you think?
What's that?
What's over in half an hour?
No, sorry. Half an hour of fighting. The cavalry should be having decisive charges.
That's what I'm saying. damage. That did. Roll some charges. Rendezvous. One last shot, Mr. Artillery. And you managed to hit. 2 square. Top of that, so that's not missing at all. Square. Why I'm bothering with immersion right now.
That's not gonna go well.
No. Okay, that's good. Oh yeah, artillery versus squares gets like a +1, right?
Yep.
That would, yeah. That's gonna hurt a bit. Oh my god, they just went from destroying cavalry to getting destroyed by artillery. Paper, scissors. Are we gonna have artillery tick, like artillery disruption tick back down, or is it just
Yeah, it
gone?
can go down if it's not shooting.
I was gonna say it's gonna be kind of crucial here in a second.
Let's see what would happen. Advance, advance.
I rolled for those guys.
Well, did you do this artillery and the enfilade fire?
I did not. You are correct. I meant
That's
that
what I
later.
was rolling for.
Good man.
Apologies, my stuff seems to be crashing a bit.
It's
I
alright.
heard you fell asleep.
Sounds like you're crashing a bit.
Everything's crashing around me, and I feel like the walls are starting to shrink.
If you need to
What
go,
should I do?
if you need to go to sleep, go to sleep.
I think I need to go to sleep. I apologize.
That's fine.
We'll just
Alright.
never let you forget this. Hope
I'm
James is
sorry,
recording this
but
right now.
I'm dying.
Let's go to sleep.
I'm going to sleep, guys. Thank you very much.
Goodbye.
See you next time.
I just saw this over here and was really concerned. I was like, when did all the Austrians break?
They've been breaking. It's definitely easier when
This
you
is
just remove them.
yeah.
I mean, they're breaking the center, but they still got these fresh heavy cav and this Imperial Guard, which might hold because the French are getting weakened.
Yeah, these guys were supposed to charge somewhere.
Oh.
I'm gonna be honest, I don't know where.
Well, let's be smart for them because I think they would charge like that.
Yep.
In which case, these guys are gonna break quickly.
J-Rock said they had a straight shot towards something. I kept looking at his screenshot and I couldn't figure out where he meant.
We'll do that.
That might be it. Because that's gonna doom Salt. Or Sult.
Yeah, so
Not
I mean,
Salt.
he's got some reserves, but nothing to. But we still got Drouet in the north. So, like, if Drouet gets in and hits him in the rear, they're all gonna. This is decisive right here because he's still pretty fresh, and if he comes in on the rear and takes the heights, they're gonna run as soon as they see French in the rear. Doesn't matter what's down here. So I think
Yeah,
we got to
fair.
do like a hour to see how that goes, and then
Pratzen Heights. It's gonna be
it's
over
all
Pratzen
about
Heights.
Pratzen Heights.
Can't make this stuff up.
1600.
Dice are going away. I'll get the triad here, unaware that they're about to suffer an Austerlitz. How did that happen? Who knows? They might break Salt just in time.
Nope.
Oh, there's some dice in that screenshot. There they go.
No.
What did you...
My screenshot thing wigged out. I lost it.
You think Alexander would see Druid over there?
If
Probably.
he doesn't see it,
Yeah.
he'd have the report of it. So either way, whichever's faster for you.
I'll give it for him. Most of the day has passed.
Yeah, it's getting late. It's winter too, so it's 4 p.m. Probably only 2 or 3 hours of light.
We're off. Everyone's together. Get those guys cooking. Sul get all of the pain and suffering that he's condemned Davu to. Or at least some of it. Oops. I don't want to put Sul's screenshot in Kuzov's channel. Be strange.
2 more turns and call it. So, completing this
I wonder
one.
when the real life Battle of Austerlitz ended.
I don't know.
Time wise, we know the date.
All right, General Bernadotte. The guard infantry are facing east now. You see Kellerman head east as well. Still hear a little bit of artillery fire to the north, but not much. And you can see Drouet and Murat moving south. Lots of routed cavalry fleeing to the northwest. Lots of artillery fire to the south. What are your orders?
Any word back from Kellerman?
Not yet.
Okay. I'm going to order all of my remaining cavalry, which is 5 units at 2 disruption and 2 units at 1 disruption, to move west to take a position on that hill that is just that tiny little hill that is just west of Stepanitz and Belowatz, east of Patin, and watch our western flank from any flanky cavalry.
Okay.
And Suchet's lone unit, and I guess that artillery, they are to garrison, or at least move in and hold and defend the town of Stepanitz proper, facing towards the northwest.
Okay. Any other orders?
Yes. I'm going to move up north back to basically where Suchet's unit is currently.
I'm just going to have you locate with Lan to talk with them.
Okay.
Okay, thanks.
Thank you.
All right, General Lan. Kleinmeyer remains where he's at. The artillery continues to pound his infantry. Reports from your cavalry scouts to the west is that Francis and Liechtenstein continue south and are now just outside Belowitz with all their cavalry.
Yes, I can see them. Okay. First and foremost, the infantry are to move up in line with the battery.
Okay.
On both ends. We'll just make a single continuous line there. The one that's directly behind the battery can stay in reserve, and the ones that are behind their sister battalions can stay in the reserve. The Imperial Guard battery, just go ahead and shake it out right slightly so that it can start bombarding the cavalry to its immediate north, the Russians there. The heavy cav and hussars are to just match the movement west, but remain tied in close so that they can still support our infantry and our infantry can support them in case they are attacked. Otherwise, besides those small movements, I've got really nothing else. Just make sure that the infantry are prepping to square in case they're charged. And if the cavalry is charged, to countercharge.
Got it. Thank you. All right, General Bonaparte. You receive word from Murat that he's lost about half his command, routed. What heavy cavalry remains him are spent, and he is reforming them south of Puntowitz, but will not be ready to charge again for some time. Drouet sends a dispatch reporting he's taken the town of Prats. He's come under artillery fire from the heights south of it, but intends to attack shortly. To the south, you can see a heavy cavalry charge. Well, first, Soult's infantry send several divisions of infantry fleeing, but then the Russians send in heavy cavalry right down the center and start to break some infantry. So most of Soult's command, I think, is Van Damme's 4th Corps has been broken, except those that remain in reserve.
Okay. Sult can rest. I'm sorry. Marat is to rest his heavy cavalry. I'm going to try and personally rally the cavalry that is running in front of me and throw it back at that enemy cavalry. I know that this is not going to be very effective, but I am the emperor and I can do things like this occasionally if I wave my hat, just to stem the tide a little. I want the um, artillery of the First Corps, which is with Murat and Nansuti, to form up and begin firing on that Russian infantry. Actually, to support Drouot's attack into the artillery. And then the forces that are in Koblenz are to rapidly form a square in front of the enemy Russian cavalry. And those horse guns are to move to the enemy Russian cavalry's flank. So the square is meant to fix them, and those horse guns are going to try and fire canister into their flank and maybe rout them. The 2 infantry that I see south of Pontowitz are also to move forward and assist in attacking the enemy heavy cavalry, to again try and stem the breakthrough and stop it. Those are the orders that I have for those forces. So in short, it's try and throw some of these routed cuirassier in a ragged charge to slow the enemy, then rapidly form a square behind that, have the artillery try and get into the enemy's flank while the square holds them, and then move up infantry to fire into the enemy's flank from south of Puntowitz. That's the goal. And get our artillery firing on the enemy artillery to support Drouot's attack onto that hill with all the enemy artillery.
Got it. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, General Francis. You've moved further south. You're just north of Belowitz. Cavalry scouts report that there are French cavalry moving about to the south of you. Hussars, mostly just hussars. Some perhaps one, I don't know, 4 or 5 regiments. Then you can kind of see just east of Belowitz, Lannes cavalry there, I guess waiting for you or standing guard. You hear some artillery fire to the east, and a lot more far, far to the south.
Okay. The cuirassiers, they'll deploy opposite Vaughn's cavalry.
Okay.
Well, we take the rest of the cavalry and we press south towards the waiting French forces. The cuirassiers here, they're ordered to, if the enemy starts to leave, that's when
You there?
stare at them, countercharge if charged.
Got it. All right, thank you. All right, General Kleinmeyer. Sorry, I got confused. All right, so you're still taking artillery fire. which is killing a few of your infantrymen. Otherwise, your corps standing still, as does the French to your north. Any orders?
Pull back that one block that's taking the artillery fire.
Pull it back.
Yeah, pull it out of the fire.
Okay.
Pull it out of the line of fire.
Got it. Thank you. All right.
Is Druette not attacking?
No, he is. That's just as far as he got.
Oh, did he move? Okay, I didn't see.
I haven't moved him yet, but
Okay.
But he's got the guard going to counter it, I guess.
Yep. I didn't think they'd form up in time because they were
Is that as far as they got?
at like the extreme limit. Yeah,
Oh, okay.
they can at least fight for it. So
I'll have the guns take that, but then the guns are gone.
Devue's cavalry just pulled off a miracle. I don't know
Okay.
how. It didn't take a single bit of damage for 3 rolls. Oh my gosh. No way Devue wins this flank. Like he just won this flank.
That's crazy.
How did this happen? Guys, get out of school.
Alright, where do we got stuff going on?
What's the penalty for chain routing?
So, if a unit breaks, so the way I'm doing it now, if a unit breaks, the units next to it go up a disruption. And if they see 2 units breaking, they go up 2 disruption. So if they're already at 4, like if they're at 4 and a unit breaks next to them, they're going to break as well. And it could go down the line depending on how everyone's morale is.
That's about what I figured. Smoke. Dr. Off hit me with the "there's nothing we can do" line.
You're in a bit of a tough spot.
I totally forgot what the control. We're just down. No more miracles for you.
All parties are disengaging.
Blast him, but you get blasted in turn. operation is in a dangerous. Not enough. Yep. Devu's gonna get overwhelmed here. Doesn't matter how many miracles his cavalry pulls off. There's a lot of guys.
Alright, I got as far south as I normally do.
I have not done anything north of Telnitz.
I got time to Google. When did the Austerlitz battles end?
You take a hit. Or in range. Well, that's infantry. What? Uh-oh.
Doesn't have a good time. It looks like it's around like 3 or 4 that they've started routing. 2 or 2.
Just realized a piece that I was pretty sure was artillery and probably have been rolling as artillery. Was in fact infantry.
Oh, that's funny.
Ignore that. It was in the artillery line. Well, in that case, it doesn't get to roll canister. And is now gonna die. Well, no, because it's probably been treated. Okay. I'll make it work.
430.
Umpires don't make mistakes. What are you talking about? Whose batteries are overrun?
Oh, wait. Never mind.
What's Napoleon doing down there?
Rallying some cavalry.
Oh, that is not good. Francis II is that's something, huh?
Yeah.
Did the guard the oh my gosh, the Prussian guard help?
All right, we'll do one more turn, then we'll bring everyone in. We'll get orders, process it, and then just bring them in. I'm gonna go get orders.
So I am sitting here at 1 and untouched for some things.
All right, so Kindmeyer remains to your north. He's pulled back some infantry, the ones that were taking artillery fire. Your other guns are online, firing in now. You get a report that cuirassiers have deployed just north of Belowitz,
Yep.
and then Bernadotte receives a report from his hussars that they were moving as ordered, and then are now being chased by lancers and dragoons, and are chosen not to engage, but are fleeing southward. Suchet's taken position within Stepanitz, and yeah.
Are they outnumbered?
Yes.
Okay. I want them to deploy to the left of Suchet's corps or division. Suchet's division and artillery, and let the enemy get within range. And I want the artillery to basically give them a face of canister, and then cavalry are to then turn and charge the stunned enemy. I want Suchet to deploy his unit to the left of the cavalry so he can also put fire on the enemy cavalry that are pursuing my cavalry.
Okay.
And I am going to move myself in a position just onto the road, just as it descends the hill into Stepanitz proper, to get a better look on the western side of the battlefield. Have I received any news from Kellerman?
Oh yes, thank you for the reminder. Kellerman reports he's gotten past Blasowitz and has basically encountered disorganized infantry and artillery. He's managed to capture hundreds and thousands of infantry and several guns.
Hundreds of thousands, or
No,
hundreds and
hundreds
thousands?
and thousands, not hundreds of thousands.
Dang. Okay. I want him to leave one unit to escort those soldiers, the captured POWs, back, and he is to take his remaining cavalry down the road with haste, heading towards Stepanitz, because we need him.
Okay, got it.
Also, the guard is going to move west and start moving to take up a line facing northwest, anchoring on Stepanitz. And I think that'll probably take him a turn or two, so my cavalry's going to have to buy time. The artillery is going to relocate towards the west side of the hill and try to be in a position that they can fire on the enemy cavalry as they approach.
Okay, got it. Lon, what are your orders?
All right. For myself, we're just gonna shift south. We're gonna pack up the artillery first and move them to. You see the road that's just north of the word Stepanitz.
Mhm.
I want them to redeploy there, and then the infantry is going to redeploy in line, as they are now, with the same reserves. As soon as the division has pulled south and redeployed, I'd like for the cavalry on my left to resituate themselves on the left of my line. Basically, they're going to hold until I shift south, and then as soon as I successfully shift south, they're going to move south as well, and then redeploy on the left of my line.
Okay, got it.
Deploy the cannons and begin firing again. We're gonna keep walking away from this.
Okay, thank you. All right, Emperor Bonaparte. So you rush down and yell at the fleeing cavalrymen. Unfortunately, you're not able to stop all of them, but you do stop 4 regiments worth who listen to their emperor, turn around, and charge back up the hill towards the Russian cavalry. And it's enough to break the Russian cavalry. Unfortunately, a second group of Russians come in, but between your square and your cavalry, you're able to break them as well, and they're fleeing back up the hill. To the east, you can see fighting on the Pratzen Heights. It looks like Drouet's made his way up there and is fighting. To the south, Soult's line is looking pretty thin. And that's it.
So Marat is ordered to take his cavalry west back towards the town of Stepanitz and intercept the enemy cavalry that is west of the Stepanitz Hill. Actually, he says actually, how much of Marat do I want to send? Do I want to send all of Marat, or do I want to send some of Marat? All right, I'm gonna hedge. I'm gonna order Marat to send 4 tiles worth of cavalry to move west of this Stepanitz Hill and intercept the enemy cavalry that has been reported moving behind the enemy army. Marat is also ordered to send back officers to collect any routed cavalry back there and just throw it at them if we can, if any of them have reformed by this point. But he is to maintain 2 of his 4 block squares of cavalry, waiting for them to be launched in an attack south. The infantry in my immediate vicinity, I can see 2 pieces of what is part of Drouot's division, which are to my east. Those are to attack east and try and roll up that flank and assist the attack on the Pratzen Heights. The forces in Kobelnetz are to move directly south to reinforce Soult's corps, including the artillery. And the formation that is in square in front of me is ordered to, I mean, if they can capture the Emperor of Russia, that would be great. But I would prefer them to march directly south to reinforce Soult and come in on the flank of the enemy that is attacking Marshal Soult's corps. Basically, everything west of me is going south, everything east of me is going east. And Drouot is ordered to continue his attack on the Pratzen Heights. Okay. Marat will probably be ordered to charge.
Where are you going?
I would like to move to Drouot's position to determine what is happening there.
Okay, got it. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right. So you are moving south, and your lancers and dragoons report seeing the hussars that were found by the scouts, and they have turned and fled and are fleeing south. The French have taken up positions in the buildings in Stepanitz to your southeast. Your cuirassiers have formed up as ordered. And that's it.
Yeah, we will. We'll continue to pursue the fleeing cavalry. No, actually, what we're gonna do is we're gonna push and we're gonna ride around. A good gapping. And while we're doing that,
wait,
I'll do that with some of the lancers.
You got cut off. What are you saying?
Okay. So, what I'll do is I'll be with one of the brigades of lancers, and I'll ride around to see if there's a good place to charge. The rest of the units are going to form up outside of artillery range.
Okay. Do you want him to charge if there is a good place to charge?
Yes.
Got it. Thank you. Alright, General Kindmeyer. So the Francis's cuirassiers, you can see, are deployed to your west. The French, more French guns are firing on you now. Not too many, and they've held position.
Attack.
You're attacking.
Yep.
Okay. All ahead. Okay, got it. Thank you.
Yes, sir.
Alright. If they're coming, they don't move.
I see you didn't like J-Rock's plan to attack Napoleon.
No.
I told him that wouldn't work. You guys are done. Left Boo is running away. Poor man, this is not his power stat, apparently.
Let's see. Lancer cavalry.
That's just out of here.
3, 4. So that's a 3, 4, 5, 6.
Scattered to the wind.
This is
Got a couple cavalry that are still left. They're not. If they hold Pratzen Heights, I think this is a coalition.
yeah, I got it.
Migration is still incredibly fresh.
Working my way. Let's see, 4.
How far down have you gotten?
Not very.
Once I might actually make it to my whole sector. I'm at Koblenitz now.
Yeah, I'm
Something
good.
about developing his entire core has made my job a little easier.
It does make it easy.
Yeah, if you want to do the hill, I'm doing these guys right now.
Oh, you're doing them? Okay, I'll do the Pratzen Heights. Let's see. So, you got hill advantage.
And you got Constantine right here, and Doktorov.
Yeah. Napoleon showed up though. The men don't want to, but they're breaking.
Oh.
Let's see. So that's one breaking. So that doesn't help him or him.
I'm going to roll for these guys.
No, I'll do it. See there.
I think I am done.
So that's 3, 4, 5. They're breaking. But they're getting enfilade fire, which nobody likes. Alright, so then they are... Oh shoot, I lost it. I think they're gonna hold. These rolls are just not going.
It is the guard.
Yeah, pushed back. I think they're going to hold. Alright, so let's look at the big picture. So in the north, quite precarious, although Lan is holding against Kindmeyer's attack, but he's about to be surrounded. But they're sending stuff that way, so I don't know. That's kind of hard to say, but definitely a risk. Drouet's attack at the heights has been stymied. How's it going in the south? Oh, I don't think it's not a French victory.
No.
It's close, but not.
There's still a chance that Druid could
No.
maybe. No. There's too much artillery up there.
Yeah. I mean, with the heavy cab maybe following up, but I think it's. Yeah, I don't think so.
I also think if we actually did regrouping, they definitely the Russians would have recovered faster.
Yeah.
They'd probably eventually win.
Yep. All right, let's bring everyone to the lobby. All right. Welcome.
Good
everyone.
game.
So, let's do my traditional thing. Before we reveal the screen, we'll ask the CICs how they think it's going. So, starting with Alexander, what do you think?
I still never knew that I was the overall CIC for this thing. But
Well, I guess there's 3 of you, so out of the
I was apparently elected CIC over the whole thing.
Coalition moment.
We're down bad. We're down bad in every quarter. Yeah, we're just down bad at this point.
Louis, bro, you killed me, dude.
Yeah, we're losing hard. Trust.
Yeah. Oh, but my Imperial Guard though, they're not losing hard. They're gonna survive and live another day. But we're down bad.
All right.
You received my dispatches, right?
Not for a while, but I got some of them. Yeah.
All right, Bonaparte,
Oh.
how do you think you're doing?
I think we're winning, but it's definitely not nearly as one-sided as it was historically.
Oh, we definitely bloodied you for sure.
Everyone's bloody.
You're not wrong about that, dude.
All right. Well, appreciate your patience. It ended up just being Kermit as I as the umpires. So there was a lot to manage for just 2, but I'm really glad Kermit was here because he helped a lot. And there's just so many pieces. I regret using these pieces because there's too many and it was ridiculous. So let's go back. So part 1, and I'll bear with me because there was a lot of umpires and I didn't have it all. But early on, starting in the north, at the beginning of the battle, Francis and Liechtenstein, with a whole lot of cavalry, kind of swept along the French flank here, and basically, I can't remember who was up there now, but
Long.
Long.
Yeah, Lon. So
Like that.
they ended up. They actually at one point they bypassed Trellard and just kind of went around him, but and then came back and captured him. But basically won the cavalry fight up here in the north, and then had access to the French left flank. In part 2, and then Kindmeyer was over here, mostly keeping him preoccupied to the east. In part 2, Francis spent a lot of time kind of regrouping in the north, taking care of all the prisoners he caught. Lon spent a lot of time watching him, and then Kindmeyer moved off the hill and came over this way, and then came back down south to pin down Lon, and then Francis and Liechtenstein made a big flanking ride over here to the southwest, and right now they're outside Stepnitz. which Bernadotte's sending his corps to counter that, but he just lost his cavalry in a lancer charge, and so him and now Kindman's sending an attack which isn't going well on his end, or sorry, Kindmeyer. So I think Lon will be able to hold against that, but the risk is they have a whole bunch of Russian cavalry in their rear now to deal with. But Bonaparte is sending some of the heavy cav from Marat. You got Bessier's Imperial Guard going that way, so they may be able to hold and then maybe break out, but it's definitely a risk up here in the north. The coalition players up north did pretty well. In the center, we had Miloradovich on the coalition side, and Doktorov, and Murat on the French side, and Soult. Miloradovich was able to take Puntowitz at one point, and I think it was his corps. I'm not sure if it's his or Kindmeyer, but they were fighting with Bernadotte for a while here, but Bernadotte did well to hold and eventually break Miloradovich, send him fleeing. Murat stayed in reserve for a long time, but at the beginning, actually during the play-by-post portion, he sent basically all his cavalry forward along this avenue, which was enough to break Miloradovich, and then they turned and started getting on the Russian flank. Soult, in the meantime, was holding a line here for a long time, just waiting. Then when Davout came in, he kind of deployed on Soult's right, and the two. Hey, Sean Mack, will you mute yourself? I'm getting a lot of feedback from your. Thank you. Yeah, so Davout came in here. The two held. It took a while, I think, for the coalition to come up, but then when they finally did, Kutuzov and all his wing. Kermit can talk more to this, but I think they had overwhelming numbers. He had sent some cavalry on a wide flank, and basically, I think Davout and Soult fought well, but they were just way outnumbered, and so that flank's being rolled up as we speak. In the end, it was a very, very, very close thing, I would say, because Drouet's corps had basically been the last in reserve. They made their way to Puntowitz and were coming around and were charging up the Pratzen Heights, but Konstantin and Doktorov and Alexander had sent their guard to hold the heights, and it just didn't go the French way, and so Drouet's corps is routing for the most part. I doubt they'll be able to take the heights if we kept playing it out, and so the Russians will be able to hold just barely in the center. And Soult's still got a few reserves in infantry and artillery, but they're pretty well spent, so there's no attacking coming from there. And I think when Bagratian's advanced guard, they'll just be able to roll up this flank. So we are calling it a very near close thing, but coalition victory. At one point, we stopped just trying to rally units. If they routed, we just took them off the field because we couldn't deal with them. So you can see there's a lot of routed units. This was a crazy large battle. Hopefully everyone had fun. I don't think I'll ever do something quite like this again, at least not with so many pieces. I do it higher level. But it was kind of fun.
Need a few more umpires.
Yeah, more umpires too. But,
so yeah, I mean, this was grand game scale.
Yeah, it was. But fun to do. Cool to see the terrain of Austerlitz. Helps me understand it and appreciate it more. And both sides did very well. It was very hard fought. So, Kermit, you want to share your 2 cents?
Yep, so I had the center for game 1. Basically, I handled primarily Bernadotte because Kindmeyer immediately went north and thus out of my area. And then I also had Murat, who just literally sat in place as ordered for the entirety of the live game until the very last turn when he ordered his men to go forward to prepare for charge. So that was kind of sad. I thought Bernadotte did a great job holding his hill. I also thought the Austrians did a great job in attacking it because they kind of realized, it seemed to me at least, that they realized that they had a superiority in numbers and continuing to pressure Bernadotte there meant he couldn't come help Lan, who was getting, shall we say, attacked hard. For the second part, I basically had all the south, everything south of Koblenitz. So that was Solt, Devu, yeah, in general. There was a massive line battle that was fought here for like 2 hours straight. That was, and then there was also just the mess of cavalry in this general area that was disgusting to look at every time. People kept trying to countercharge each other, even though there was like fleeing troops in the way. That was just terrible. There was a massive artillery duel in the south, but eventually Kutuzov just had enough men to wrap up Davu's flank, because Davu's line originally went all the way down here. And then once that got wrapped up, it was just a matter of time. Davu didn't have enough men. And then Solt didn't have enough men to exploit the center either. And we were really keen to see if in fact, Druid and Napoleon would sneak Pratzen Heights out from under Emperor Alexander, because that almost happened. I thought everyone did a pretty good job. People were very much like, yep, we just got to grit it out. We don't have to do the massive, glorious maneuvers. This is very much a numbers game, and as well as the terrain and some flanking as well. But
very much a grind of a battle.
Yes, it was very bloody.
The front, I think, was about 13 to 14 miles long, so very big.
I'm confused how 2 umpires ran this type of live game.
Because we're awesome. I don't know.
Root beer.
All right, so let's go down just the players and hear your experience, Alexander.
I would just like to say that my plan actually went according to plan. Although I said we were down bad, it was in reference to myself because Napoleon sneaked away on me trying to get him. And no, they were not going to sneak the heights, because that's exactly why I had the guard make it there in time, because I knew that's what they were going to try and do. And I said they were not getting past my guard. They're going to get demolished sending infantry at it. So they were not going to get that on me. But no, my plan worked how it was supposed to work. I set it up to where... So my plan was originally for my cavalry in the north was to be the biggest distraction and to make as much fuss and damage as possible. And the south and the center were going to do a general advance, so then the south could roll up the flank and the center was going to withdraw. Now, I'd said if we withdraw, it's most likely going to be from a buckle or feint, but the whole idea was our center was going to fall and the flanks were going to be able to do what they needed to do to win us the battle. So my plan worked. I said we were down bad, but I'm talking about me and my army. But the overall victory goes to the plan.
All right. Bernadotte?
Well, slow start. And then I find that Lan is getting raffle stomped to my north, which was surprising. And then a fuck ton of Austrians showed up from the east, and there were more of them than I had anticipated. And as a result, Suchet's division got wiped out, except for one unit and one artillery, which I'm making all of those. If I can find the surviving gunners, they're going to be given Legions of Honor, because they sat in that line for several hours blasting the fuck out of the Austrians before they surrendered, which was amazing. And I had to have the guns recruit. And then I got the Imperial Guard, and they stabilized the situation because my front had effectively collapsed because I had been using cavalry to try to slow down the infantry, and bleeding horses doing that. And then once I got the Imperial Guard, we were able to form a line, and then the break happened. And when we came back, I was able to flank around the Austrians and shatter their line. And I thought, well, things are going well. I sent out a probing force to the east to, hearing all these, finding out we're capturing lots of people. I'm thinking, it's going fine. And then I'm finding out that, there's a mass of cavalry coming in from our northwest. Sent cavalry there, and they got raffle stomped. Things have been better, but I think it's okay. I've got my vacation to Sweden planned. I'm good.
All right, thank you, Doctor.
Yeah, I gotta say, having the massive Russian cavalry in front of me really stopped half my line. Not great. But other than that, it went pretty good. Not really, but we'll pretend it did. And just a slog, just a line battle. That's all I had.
Yep. All right, Bonaparte.
So we essentially went with the historic plan with a few modifications. We anticipated a heavy attack in the north in the Stepanitz Hill. And that is kind of what happened. We were attacked very suddenly by cavalry, which pushed through our artillery pretty easily, forcing us to activate our Imperial Guard cavalry. And since it was the closest formation, I was surprised. The enemy cavalry was able to charge up the hill into our artillery and get through it, but the mist certainly helped get them closer. So I'd say the mist was contrary to Napoleon in this version of the battle. We never kind of believed fully that the attack on Stepanitz was the main attack, but we had very limited reserves that we could make use of. We essentially only had the reserve cavalry and two divisions that were ever able to be held back in reserve. That was Drouot and Van Dam, and then the reserve cavalry. We had the Imperial Guard as well, but those ended up needing to be activated to prevent a collapse in Bernadotte's line, who was on the south of Stepanitz. I'm sad to see that we lost. I'm very disappointed. I think all of our players did very well, but our plan was to eventually make an attack in the center, as Napoleon did historically. But I just mentioned in our chat, I don't think the coalition ever used their full numbers on the field, and we may have been missing a division or two, but it just felt really hard to actually pull off a win here. In planning, we made a couple of different considerations, trying to see how we would be able to deal with the coalition numbers, either using a shorter line or maybe pulling back further west. But ultimately, I decided that it would be best to hold the three towns, Sokolnitz, Tilnitz, and then the M1 to the south, because it was our best chance at actually preventing the enemy from outflanking us. But it didn't work. Just the weight of numbers were pretty impossible to deal with. I mean, it felt like every time we solidified ourselves, a new cavalry division showed up or a new infantry division showed up. So it was pretty hard to deal with, but I'm happy with our performance. I don't really think there was much we could have done differently. I would note that Murat is in a position to make a charge into the flank of the Imperial Guard where Drouot was, and I think we would take the Pratzen Heights in the subsequent turn. But Drouot would be in no position to exploit it, and with Soult's and Davout's corps broken in the south, ultimately Napoleon would be forced to order a withdrawal towards Brno and his line of retreat. Although I think the coalition would be in no state to pursue him, and he would be able to fall back onto Ney's corps and Augereau, and the war would probably go on.
Yeah.
But Prussia would join in, and it would get messy for Bonaparte pretty soon.
If Drouet had arrived at the heights about 30 minutes earlier before the guard was up there, actually, I think that one piece, because they would have taken the guns, because the guns were on their own, and then once they had the heights and the Russians had seen the French behind them on the heights, they would have routed. So I think it was a matter of 30 minutes for Drouet and the timing there, unfortunately.
It is unfortunate because he was supposed to be activated a turn before he ended up getting moved, but I think that got lost in the play-by-post phase of the game because Murat had been in command of him, and he was supposed to move forward simultaneously with Murat, but he ended up moving a turn behind. So that was an unfortunate thing, but not much to have been done about it. Those sorts of things happen.
They do.
Also, it would have been it would have been a kind of weird terrain for the cavalry to get down. They'd have to go down a pretty steep hill and then up a steep hill. But it could have worked.
Yeah.
I'm not saying it couldn't.
I will say, in all these
artillery, and it worked. So
all the giant Napoleonic battles I've done, like Leipzig and this one, I think I don't account for. It's so big that I don't account for unit quality well enough, and so the French are disadvantaged in that way. And that I think they should have a higher quality and a higher advantage, but it's not often taken into account because it seems like every grand battle I do, the French always lose because, of course, they're outnumbered. But there's and obviously, Bonaparte did well, but there's something in there that's missing in my rules or my setup that isn't enabling the French to win, because it shouldn't just be a numbers game of, well, they've got 20% more troops than you, they're going to win. It should be there should be more in that. So all that to say, don't feel bad, French, because I think I'm still missing stuff in my rules that I got to work on it.
Also, just thank you very much to the coalition players. Don't let my disappointment damper your victory. You guys did win, and the South breaking is the clearest sign that this battle is over. I think that's pretty decisive. Regardless of what occurred in the center, I think Napoleon would be forced to order a withdrawal. Although we might capture all of your cavalry in the north.
Don't worry about it, man. Because it all went according to plan. Like I said, both the other two CICs, McPanzer's here. He could tell you they were not with it at first. They were like, "Why you got all our cavalry up in the north?" I was like, "Look here, man. Just roll with it with me, man. I just want you guys to run around, do damage, and be a distraction." The South was always supposed to be my main roll up. That was going to be the anvil to the center being we're going to be the anvil, they were going to be the hammer. They were always meant to be the main driving force to roll up the French. The center was just going to be like the centerpiece, and we were always supposed to buckle.
Yeah.
So it went to plan. So
We'll talk more in the free discussion, I think, for sure.
All right, let's listen. So we have McPanzer here. He was Francis in part 1, but he missed part 2.
Yes. Oh, I yield. I'll go to the next Francis.
Okay, the next Francis is up.
Okay. Yeah, so I took over. I didn't really have a clear idea of what was going on, so I just did the thing that was in front of me, which was continue to basically try to dumpster Lawn's Corps, and I think I would have achieved that if the game had gone on for a little while longer, but I think at that point my command would have been spent. But, bagging basically an entire French corps is not bad going. considering I've already gotten, 7 regiments and several batteries. Probably took some eagles.
Yep. All right. Thank you.
Cav's in pretty good shape.
Yeah, he spent a lot of time recovering, so they're actually fairly decent shape. Although it is late. I mean, what time is it? It's 4:30 in the winter. I don't know when it gets dark. Probably around 6 or 7. So there's only like an hour or two of light fighting. So I don't know. Yeah. Anyway, that's all. Did I skip anyone? I guess we lost a few. McPanzer, you want to go?
I don't. Nope, I'm good. I think Sean Mack did a great job of following up the random blundering that I did in round 1, and I just wanted to see how.
Yep. All right. Well, thanks everyone for playing. Yeah, I guess that's all I got. See you in the next one.
Thank you. Good games.
Cheers.